painting the bedwood today, and the thing on bedwood is that it is very porous. It basically has just a lot of little holes of air everywhere. And what's going to happen is if you shoot this on too thick, then the air bubble is going to rise up, and then it's going to generally dry like that. And then you're going to have all these bubbles everywhere that you're going to have to pop, sand down, and paint again. So what you need to do is a very specific way. You want to shoot just thin coats, just a lot of thin coats on there, because what we're trying to do on that little pinhole is build up a bridge of little small spots of clear coat until it tops out. Or we're just filling it in slowly, but never shoot it down fat because you are going to get bubbles. Another thing you want to do is get the Lumina light. It always helps when you're shooting, and you don't want to start at the front right here and shoot. You don't want to shoot straight down. What you're going to want to do is bend over, make sure that you have your air hose behind your back so it doesn't hit anything, and you're going to want to lean over to the middle, and you're going to want to shoot the middle first, and you're going to want to shoot at a bit of an angle, and you need to have about at least an inch between each of the boards here, because when we're doing this, we're also sealing the wood. We're not just doing this to look good. We're sealing the wood so that moisture can't get in there. It'll soak it up like a sponge, and then it'll expand. When it expands and contracts, then it's going to crack the wood. It's going to crack the clear coat. So we want to make sure that we're hitting this wood on the ends right here, and that we're hitting it on the sides right here. In order to be able to do that, you're going to need to be able to shoot this at basically about a 45-degree angle so that you're getting all of the grains, and then you're getting the sides of the wood also, and then specifically hit this stuff. Then you're going to go to the other side, and you're going to do exactly the same thing, hitting it at that 45. It's a little bit tough. I've seen people do it different ways. Sometimes guys will put little eyelets in the wood, and they'll string a wire across and they'll paint it. But I'm always afraid that it's going to fall out and smash onto the ground before I catch it. So I generally do it this way. And if you're at home, this is generally going to be your better way to do it. Just laying it out, shooting the bottom first, waiting for it to dry. Really, if you got the time, I'd probably give it, minimum of a couple of hours. Read your can and see how long they say it'll take to dry. And when you flip it over, it probably will leave some marks on there. That's why you're doing the bottom first. And yeah, you can do miscellaneous things where you have it less, but this is a time-sensitive job, and the clock is ticking. So I'm going to paint all this up. We're going to give it a couple of hours to dry. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing on the top. It goes a little bit something like this. Now, when you're shooting something like this, it's pretty big and it's hard to hit everything all at one time. You're going to need to break it up a little bit. So what I'll be doing is first starting in the middle, and I'm not shooting straight down. I'm shooting at a 45-degree angle so that all of the grains are getting hit with paint, and all of these edges right here are getting hit with paint. I'll go ahead and I'll go as far to the middle as possible, and then I'll stop. Then I'll come to this edge here, and I'll go ahead and I'll paint this side. I'll go to the other side. I'll paint. When I get to the middle here where I couldn't reach, I'll simply hit it like this. Now what I'm going to do is simply repeat the process and go the opposite direction. I also have to make sure when I'm doing this to hit these ends right here. So basically the trick is thin coats and make sure you're hitting it at an angle, and you're going to be just fine. You wait and see.